All right, welcome back to On the Bump, an SP Streamer podcast, proud member of the Fantrax Podcast Network and FantraxHQ.com family. It's Friday, but not really because we're live, but we're probably going to put this up on a podcast format for Friday, June 4th. Doug Ishikawa here, alongside, as always. You know what? I usually introduce the sensational Mr. Michael Simione here. Not Simione. That's how my kids pronounce it. Simione here. And I hate to start this live podcast / Friday morning on a sour note, but I'm a tiny bit worried. You know, back-to-back tough streams with Eric Lauer and David Peterson, a confusion of what emojis are actually emojiing about, and rocking a sweater vest at a very young age. Where should we begin?
It feels like I know you were going to bring up every single one of those things for the intro today.
I have to tell you, you're the only person on my entire Twitter feed that I put notifications for. So when Michael is confused about something, I am reading it right when it happens. Why do you think, let's get to the emojis real quick before we get to fantasy baseball. Why did you think that the blue tears were arms?
Because they're like, so the one where it's like crying straight down, right? Or even out, like it's long, right? So like it looks like I thought they were just trying to make like emojis fun, and like these were their arms, like laughing so hard where like your hands are on your face or something. For like forever until I tweeted it. For years I always thought that it was someone like this laughing.
But you thought like the tears and the arms were like coming in at different angles. So sometimes the tears go off to the side. Sometimes the tears are straight down.
I don't know. I thought maybe it was different arm position.
All right. Wow. That anybody who's listening who's getting fantasy baseball advice right now is like, oh my gosh. This guy.
So anyway, but real quick, I want to touch on those blow-ups.
Yeah, let's touch on Eric Lauer.
Did you see how I completely jinxed myself? I put it in the post, but
of course,
yeah, I
get your notification.
I said that. I was like, I haven't run into a blow-up, and then the blow-up happens. Eric Lauer's high floor, and he gets blown up. Yeah, it was bad.
It's a tough. You know what? Streaming stuff. That's why we're looking to do the stream and hold sometimes. Like we talked about Martin Perez last time that we were together. It's been a while since we've been together. I only bring up all of this stuff, and we didn't even get to the sweater vest. But why the sweater vest? It's a good look. You're like a Division III college basketball coach.
I look awesome in the sweater vest. That was all my mom, obviously. I remember in middle school too. She made me wear it once. That was fun. That was a fun day.
Challenge accepted. Now we're going to make SP Streamer sweater vests, and we're going to make sure that the entire staff gets one. All the writers that we have at the site, we're all going to get on at the end of the year here. We're going to wear them. Tune in for that live stream because it's going to be epic. So you know what? Let's get to fantasy baseball. We have to goldfish Ted Lasso here. And have you ever seen Ted Lasso? It's a great show, by the way.
Never heard of it.
All right. Apple TV. I'm going to send that too. But let's forget the past couple of starts that we've had, because the overall record has been outstanding, sensational, fantastic. So let's get into Streamer Wire Friday. Who to stream and hold? Who are you looking to kind of put out there in the course of the upcoming weekend here? And who do you think that maybe we should be holding on to in some cases?
So I mentioned him in the last one briefly, and I'm going to kind of go into him more, and that's Tariq Skubal. Mm-hmm. Really like everything he's doing. In his last 5 starts, basically all of the month of May, he had a 3.33 ERA with a 3.75 FIT, a K percentage over 30%, a swing strike percentage that was above average. It was basically everything you wanted to see. So when I saw that, I was wondering, obviously when someone's better, you got to see if they're doing something to, show that it can continue.
Yes.
I clearly cannot speak tonight. This is why I'm terrible at podcasts. All right. So first thing to note is the 4-seam velocity has actually been up half a tick, which is good. I wonder if it could go up even more as the weather gets warmer. So that's something to watch in itself. What he did do was, so he worked on his changeup in the offseason, and then when he started the year, he didn't throw it. He was throwing a splitter, which is a new pitch for him. I have no idea why he did that. And that was in April. Well, now we're in May, and he's not throwing the splitter at all, and now he's starting to throw the changeup. He's throwing the changeup 17.1% of the time. So with that new velocity little tick up on the four seam and the changeup, he actually has an insane 12-mile-an-hour difference in velocity between the four seam and the changeup. So that's really good. And with it, so with the changeup coming back in and the increase in throwing it, obviously, everything has improved numbers wise. The sliders ISO is down. The WOBAs are around the same, but the four seam ISO is way down. Better WOBA. The changeup is a million times better than the splitter. So the splitter in April had a 583 ISO against and a 548 WOBA. That basically means it's like the worst pitch ever. And then the changeup has a 0.063 ISO and a 219 WOBA, which is extremely good. Now, the reason why the changeup is really important is because when Scuball would face lefties, he has his slider and his four seam to rely on. When he goes against righties, the four seam is good. The slider is still good, not as good against lefties, but still is good. And he really needed a third pitch to get through them. And the changeup does that because the changeup against right-handed hitters so far, and through the last month he's been using it, has a strikeout rate over 40%. And is giving up a lot of weak contact. So I'm going to show this video clip real quick. For those who are listening, you could obviously check this out on our Twitch or YouTube. The links should be in the description of the episode. We're going to look at a bat going against Cesar Hernandez, who is righty facing him. And I just wanted to show how useful the changeup is in this situation. So he starts off with a four seam high. I think it was like, what was it, 90 in that damn shot. All right. But anyway, starts the four seam high. Hernandez whiffs on it. So then he decides to go change up, and he actually puts it up high as well. And Hernandez is well ahead of this pitch. So he's ahead of the count real early, 0-2. So he decides, okay, he just whiffed on the changeup. Let me try it low and away again. Throws it low, but too low. Hernandez doesn't change it. So right now, he threw two pitches high, went one low. Hernandez is thinking he's just going to see the changeups. Probably worried about the changeup because he just whiffed on it earlier. And now Scuball could go to that third pitch that he could throw against righties now, and he goes to the slider, and Hernandez completely whiffs, and he gets the strikeout. So I think it's just really good that he can have a third pitch against righties now, because that's what he really needed to take a step forward. Again, I was excited about this changeup because he went to Driveline about it. Apparently they made it better, and it was just so weird that he decided to just not use it. So I'm really excited that he's now using it. He's been really good. Just pitched well against the Yankees. I think he gets the White Sox next. I could be wrong. But I think he has a really tough matchup next. And I think that's going to be the tell-all to see if he's really taking that step forward. I'm pretty sure it's the White Sox, who actually kill lefties. So if you get past them, I'm going to be extremely impressed. So yeah, if you want to wait till after that start, I get it because it's dangerous. But if he does pitch well, you need to add him everywhere you possibly can.
So we're talking about Tarik Skubal, the left-hander for the Detroit Tigers, super young, 24 years old, had a lot of high upside marks coming into this season, struggled a little bit out of the gate, coming back and maybe making some changes as we're, entering into the summer months here. June has just started. Somebody to definitely keep on your radar for, maybe the upcoming stream might not be that good against the White Sox like Michael was talking about, but if he can make it through that start, be watching him, be seeing what he can do. Obviously, the White Sox are one of the best teams in the baseball game right now, the MLB. Michael, anybody else that you want to talk about before we get to the daily read today?
That was it. I thought I'd talk enough.
No, I always like it. And I always call them TED Talks, but I always come away with something about it. Martin Perez went out there last time out and showcased some good stuff. Tarik Skubal doing that as well. So before we leave, make sure that you do get that daily read on. Ryan Levis wrote a good one on the sbstreamer.com site. Buy or sell hot and cold starters. It's at that point when you say, Michael, in the season for fantasy baseball that we need to
start making some moves.
You need to start making some moves. Tough drops to make. Luis Castillo, I don't know. We haven't really gotten into him too much, but some of these players that you might want to start either picking up, adding to your roster, or sadly letting go here. So go give it a read, throw Ryan a follow, join up with our SP Streamer Discord. You can discuss all of these questions that you might have. Should you start such and such on a certain day? All our writers are there. You can talk to everybody who is in that Discord. It's growing by the daily, over 200 members talking baseball 24/7. That's our show for today or tonight or whatever you want to call this. And as always, if you're listening on a platform that allows you to rate, review, or share us, it would be greatly appreciated. Michael gave me some flack because he's like, nobody wants the patches or the stickers, but look at the patches. They look good on a hat. So buy a hat.
I like
Way
it.
cheaper than going out there to New Era. And I accidentally said zip code. It's area code on those. Actually, I think
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, I think they pulled those hats off the market. So I was like desperately trying to buy you one, and I just couldn't get there on time. But thankfully. All right. Well, we thank you for being here with us tonight. Review us, share us, hang out with us, join in. Michael, can you talk a little bit about how often you're going live for the Twitch channel that we do have as well?
Yeah, so I started off only doing a couple days a week, but I've realized if I do it on a more consistent basis, a lot of more people are starting to come in, which is really cool. And I'm basically just doing what I do in the morning live, essentially, or I'll do it and then talk about something else. But we're doing basically Monday through Friday, 7:30 in the morning Eastern time. And then we're doing every Saturday, we're doing like a longer show at 10 a.m. where I'll have different guests on and stuff like that.
All right. Make sure that you go and hang out with us on Twitch. Michael's going to be doing that for, a lot of time.
Ever.
So ask forever, pretty much. Ask him some questions, hang out with us, get to know us, and ask those fancy baseball advice questions so we can help give you that leg up on your competition. Buddy, it's been too long. It is.
Long. I got a question for you before we go.
Is it a snail question or a key question?
It's no. I do
is
like
it,
that.
Is it like that? Are you just looking up trivia on your... Okay, go ahead.
No. I'm just interesting things, Doug. Interesting things. Would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into your own future, or 10 minutes into the future of anyone but yourself?
I obviously I'm a big Back to the Future fan, and Doc Brown always has stayed in my heart. You should never know too much about your own future. Isn't that what he says? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say, I guess I would look 10 minutes into somebody else's future. And do you know,
agree.
Actually, I just got that gift right now, and I can see what you're going to be doing in the next 10 minutes. You're going to get rid of that t-shirt that you're wearing, throw on a sweater vest, head outside, light up your solo stove, have a nice bourbon, and get the day started. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, you're half right.
Oh, there you go. See, it was a good future. I only say that because I care, Michael. I care. All right, let me close the show.
Go for it.
All right, from Michael Simione, I'm Doug Ishikawa. Hope that you have a great Friday, everybody. But if you're live here, I hope that you have a great Wednesday night. We are still working on the future here as well, and when we drop these things. But we'll be back here with you Sunday with our forecast report for On the Bump. But in the meantime, we hope that you take care, stay safe, and we will see you soon.